Today I wanted to give you guys a card shop update here at the Galaxy Card Shop and what's been going on the past week or two. And there is actually one thing that I forgot to cover in my last card shop update video, which if you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out. Basically, I forgot to cover that I had bought a Moonbreon and I thought that it would get a PSA 10, so I sent it in and it didn't. It got a PSA 8, which I was pretty sad about. And I actually ended up cracking it and selling it on TCG Player for more than I would have gotten if I would have just sold it as an 8 for actually like $400 more. So just keep that in mind if you're submitting to PSA. Sometimes you can make more cracking the slab and selling it raw. And that was actually the first time I've ever done that. I think I got a PSA 6 on some stupid card, and I practiced on that one. It was like a Pikachu AR. Well, anyway, I cracked it. I used a set of pliers and a flathead screwdriver, and it was actually relatively simple. And there's tons of videos on YouTube about it. Just look it up. Well, anyway, it sold the next day, and I was very happy that I had done that. So shout out to Spat on the Discord. You know who you are if you're watching this, for giving me the advice, because I didn't realize that the raw card was selling for as much as it was. It's kind of interesting that people pay less for a PSA 8 than a raw card, but that's just the current market that we're in. So just keeping that in mind if you're submitting stuff to PSA. Sometimes it makes more sense to crack the card out of the slab and sell it raw, because it was still a near mint card. Even on the 8 it says near mint, so you could still list it as near mint, and there was nothing wrong with the card. It was just a little bit off centered. I guess PSA didn't like that, gave it an 8. So that was just the first update that I forgot to give you guys in the last video. So this past week, the number one thing that's been happening that everybody's been talking about is Terastal Festival, and I have sold probably over 400 boxes of it now, and it's obviously the most popular set of the year right now. So that's the first thing that happened this week, is the Terastal Festival sales. And another thing that has happened is I've been going pretty hard on submitting cards to PSA and buying cards and grading them, because I got my recent submission back, and I'll show it on the screen. It was, I think I got like 9 out of 20 10s, which is not that great. It's below 50%. Really, I'm trying to shoot for at least 60% 10s. But thankfully all the other ones were 9s, and I was able to sell some of them for profit despite them getting a 9, because I bought them before they went up in price. And that's something that I learned, is to target cards that you think are going to rise, so that even if you get a 9, by the time you get it back, you still will make money off of it. One thing that I've learned doing more grading is that PSA is, as Dan from Catch 'em All Collectibles says, consistently inconsistent. So just keep that in mind if you're going to get into grading. You know, you might have a quote-unquote perfect card and it'll still get a 9. I highly recommend you check out Dan from Catch 'em All Collectibles. I'll have a link somewhere in the comments below, and he's got some great videos on grading and some of the grading stuff that he's done. He does it in mass, and like I said, I hope to expand to that next year, because it could be highly profitable if you do it correctly. For example, the Venusaur SIR from 151, I believe I bought that card before it started exploding in price, and I don't remember the exact number that I paid for it, but it was way below what it's going for now. And I actually ended up getting a 10 on it. Well, I got a 9 on one of them, and then I got a 10 on the other one, so I submitted 2 of them. And the 9 I still made money on, because I had paid such a low price for the raw card, because it was before the price went up. And the way I saw that happening was I saw the Charizard shooting up, and I was thinking, okay, if the Charizard goes up, more than likely the Blastoise and the Venusaur will go up too. And lo and behold, they did. Of course, part of that is luck, but that is a lot of grading, is a little bit of luck and a lot of data analysis. So if you sit down and look at the data, you can usually make a pretty good guess on what's going to happen. But that's basically what happened with that. Is I had a decent PSA return, and I have another one that's being in grading right now, and I'm going heavy into that into next year. So I might make some more videos on it. But just know there's already tons of them out there, and if you need advice grading, there's plenty out there. So another thing that happened this past week, actually the past 2 weeks, is I got my first and second English distributor orders in. I was lucky enough to be looking, and they had a sale on Paldea Evolve ETBs. So I got a good bit of those. I got like 20 of those. And I got kind of what seems like the last wave of Temporal Forces and Obsidian Flame booster boxes. One thing I've learned, and well, I didn't really learn it, I kind of already knew going into it, was that just because you have a distributor doesn't mean you have a golden ticket and you're going to get rich. Most distributors look at the market price and they sell their boxes for 10 to 15% under TCG player, and they give you a little bit off the meat off the bone per se, but they don't give you, they're not going to sell it to you for $90 a box. Unfortunately, because I'm still new to the distributor, I'm not able to get prismatic evolutions at all, and I'm not able to get 151 blooming waters. So that it really sucks that I miss out on those. But I was able to make my first pre-order for some tins. I don't even know what's going to be in them. I'm kind of gambling. I think it's the Azure Legends tins. I'm hoping that there's some Surging Sparks in them, but we'll see. I think I got like 24 of those tins, but worst case, I'll just rip them open and sell the packs. But that was basically that. I got some top loaders and penny sleeves. I threw those on the website. People seem to be enjoying those. But yeah, that's basically it. Not a ton has happened this past week or two, other than, like I said, Terastal Festival sales been going through the roof. Like I said, I'll be doing more grading with PSA, and I'm enjoying doing that. That's basically it. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe, check out my website, galaxycardshop.com, and I'll see you guys in the next one.